My name is Norma Rodriguez, and currently I'm an attorney, but I am judge-elect for Benton Franklin Superior Court. Well, I actually was born in Texas, but my parents were migrant workers, so they came up. And then once we were at school age, my parents decided to settle here in the Tri-Cities. And so we grew up here in Pasco, so I'm a Pasco Bulldog. So what I remember was making tamales and all the, the conversations that would go on while we were making tamales with my mom. It was, that's hard work. It's a struggle making tamales, but it was fun. And then my parents had us quite involved in dancing for the church. Like we would do the La Bamba, so we would take classes to do La Bamba and Jarabe Zapatillo. And again, I didn't really like doing that, but then I look back at the pictures, well, that was kind of fun. So just things like that we didn't, I guess other people didn't get to experience those kind of things. My mother was illiterate growing up. She didn't know how to drive, but she learned how to drive. And obviously being in a situation where, you're having to raise 6 kids, we call her MacGyver because she could always figure out anything, how to do anything. There was nothing that she couldn't overcome. And I think we all just kind of stood in awe when my mom did something that seemed impossible. Since I was a baby, my mom tells me that she used to rock me and tell me that I was going to be a lawyer. And my dad would always tell me, oh, you're going to be a lawyer, and he would introduce me to all of his friends, and he would put his arm around me. This is mija, Norma, she's going to be a lawyer. And he was just so positive about that and so convinced that that was going to happen. So I just believed it. And so that's what I did. And I think that maybe that comes from a lot of what my parents went through when they were in Texas and they were younger. My parents weren't allowed to go into certain restaurants because it was whites only, or they couldn't go use certain bathrooms because it was whites only. And so I'm thinking maybe that's why they wanted me to go that route. And so I knew that it was going to be hard work. I did my best to get straight A's, got involved in community activities, did what I needed to do to get to college. And then once I became an attorney, then I worked for somebody for about a year and then opened up my own practice. And that was difficult work, but it was well worth it. When I was in law school, I was diagnosed with skin cancer. And so I think overcoming that, and when you hear the word cancer, it's a very scary thing. But luckily I had my mom and my best friend that was in law school that helped me through that, and just the support. But the other struggle that I had was obviously financial struggles of being able to get through school. Sometimes the financial aid wasn't enough, but then scholarships would come in. But we also had my parents' neighbor that helped me and my sister one year, I think, when we struggled financially. And he just opened up this checkbook and gave us money. A lot of people don't realize how hard it is to accomplish your goals, and sometimes they think it's an easy thing. But there was times where I had 3 jobs in order to get to where I needed to get, pay my bills, that sort of thing, and so many other struggles that we have in our life that everybody has, and just, I think, learning from my mom that, being strong and you can do it, or my sister would say, si se puede. So that, and I think I've always been an advocate since we were young. Growing up in the Navy homes was a difficult thing. We grew up with some characters, and so there was bullies around, that sort of thing, and I always felt like I would have to go and defend all of the other kids, and that just kind of has been my thing throughout life. I've just been an advocate for people, defending them when they needed help, and just speaking on their behalf. Well, being a Leona, I think that's an interesting word because it encompasses strength, right? And being ferocious. So I think it's quite an honor to be selected as a Leona. I like what it stands for, and to be selected, and you're telling me that I'm one of those, I think that's great. Thank you. And I appreciate being selected.